Hello, Renee.
Good morning, Marvina. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing good, except for the heat. I'm not a big heat person, and man, we're right in the middle of summer, aren't we?
Right in the middle of it. We
Yeah,
knew it was coming, right?
yeah, yeah,
I'm
exactly.
hoping my tomatoes are gonna like the sun.
Oh,
I've
yeah,
been I've taken every year I take up gardening a little bit.
yeah, yeah,
Kind And so, and then I start off great, but then I usually fall off. But this year I'm trying to make it all the way through. So I have tomatoes coming on, and I hear they love the heat. So I'm hoping that the heat is going to be beneficial to them. So,
yeah, yeah.
so we'll see.
Good,
We'll see.
good.
But your week has been great and all of that. Your
Yeah, I celebrated my 68th birthday a couple
happy
days ago.
birthday. I
Yeah,
did
thank
not
you.
know that. Happy birthday,
Thank you.
Renee.
Thank you.
Okay.
So everybody, everybody was working except for my niece. She's a teacher, so she's off for the summer. So she says, "What would you like to do?" And I said, I'd love to go to Top Golf.
Okay.
Have you seen that place?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like just a big driving range, right? And I'd
Right.
never done it before.
Okay.
And so we went there and it was hot as heck. I mean, it was just hot. I was dripping. But we played for 3 hours.
Wow.
And
Okay.
so, and I got a compliment from the guy next to us, in the next bay. He said, "Man, you got some good shots there." And I said, "Never done it before." And he says, "Oh, you're
Okay.
really good. Maybe this will be your new game." And woke up the next morning and I said, "I don't know if this will be my new game or not." I mean, I got my arm is really sore, my hips. It's like,
Well, yeah, playing for 3 hours, you gotta start slow, Renee.
yeah,
Isn't it
well,
funny how our brain tells us you can do it, and our body is like, "Hey, lady, what you doing?"
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I told Ashley, I said, I'm one of those, I guess, one of those rescue dog, that goes out to rescue people that won't stop until
Uh,
you make them stop.
uh,
And so finally she says, "Okay, we paid for 3 hours. Do you want to go?" And it's like, "Oh, okay, let's go." Oh gosh. So
well, nice.
yeah.
I did say that I would like to take up golf. I mean, it seems like an
Yeah.
interesting sport. However, I just like to ride around in a golf cart.
Yeah.
And that's as far as it goes.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
see. But we'll see. But
Yeah.
okay, well, I'm glad you had a nice time and happy birthday to you,
Oh,
Renee.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So we're at episode 60 today,
Woo.
right?
Nice. Yes.
Um, and so today we're going to be talking about the title of our conversation today is kindness ripples.
Okay.
You
Okay.
never know who you're blessing.
Yep. Yep.
And so, um, even the compliment that the young man gave you, I was thinking about that when you just mentioned how the young man gave you a compliment. Sometimes, like the smallest gestures of kindness
Hmm.
can change the trajectory of somebody's day.
Yes.
I know that there's sometimes that I have, okay, we
Here
know
you.
that I'm ready to, you can always tell it's
Yeah.
coming right when I
Yeah. Yeah.
stop a moment. Um, we know how much I'm looking forward to retirement. Mhm.
Yes. Yes.
So sometimes, I got to get my attitude a little bit right, when I go into work.
Just sometimes.
Yes, Renee.
Just sometimes. Okay. I know you too well. Go ahead.
Don't tell all the secrets. Now,
Yeah.
I think they know that now by now too, but
Yeah.
um so and I honestly, once I get to work, because of the people I work with,
Hmm.
sometimes I'm like, okay, God, I'm really trying to talk myself off the ledge here. Like, I know I have a lot to be thankful for. I know that some
Yeah.
people wish they had to, I know all the things, right?
Yeah.
Still don't want to go. So, but once I get in and, just sometimes, just somebody starts the morning, saying good morning or giving me, oh, I was thinking about you and I thought about this or whatever, or a compliment, just that can change
Mm-hmm.
the trajectory of your day. And it actually kind of like deflates that
Yeah.
attitude that I had or whatever. And it just small acts of kindness. I think sometimes we're thinking we have to do these grand gestures.
Yeah.
And just in your everyday life, your circle of influence, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Sometimes you just being kind to somebody, you don't know what encouragement that may give someone.
Right.
You know,
Right.
people being
Exactly.
kind to me in the past have, it's helped. Even, showing up to church, you had to get all the kids ready and everybody dressed. And you're like, okay, now everybody's ready to go. And I'm looking, and then I just got to put, throw on whatever, and you get to church and, someone meets you with a kind word,
Yeah.
just that it kind of disarms you,
Yeah.
because you don't realize how, like, in a ball you are, I guess,
Yeah.
lack of
Yeah.
better words. But
Yeah. And
yeah.
sometimes, when somebody will say, "Oh, good morning," if we're in one of those moods and we're like, "Oh, well, that's good about it," attitude, it's like we don't realize they're not trying to, annoy us. They're showing kindness. That's their way of showing kindness. So
Right.
a lot of
When
times
they're saying good morning, you're
yeah,
saying.
like if they
Yes.
say, "Hey, good
Okay.
morning," and
Okay.
so
Yeah.
we take it as, what do you bother me for? What are you so happy about? But here they are showing kindness, so it's
Right.
important that we receive the kindness too,
Right.
and not label it as they're just trying to get under my skin first thing when I walk
Right.
in, so yeah,
Right.
yeah,
And I think if you're that person that thinks that way, you should probably check yourself a little bit, because
yeah,
sometimes you can be in such a mood. And I have experienced, we all know I like to laugh a lot.
yes,
That's just, I
yes,
love to laugh. And I do laugh a lot. But I think I irritate some people sometimes. I'm pretty sure. But but that joy, it spreads. It's contagious.
yeah,
Kindness is contagious. How many times have you heard about, you go to Starbucks and somebody pays it forward, and then
right,
somebody else pays it forward, and then somebody else pays it forward. It's, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It's just those little things matter. It's the simple things. It's the everyday kindness. That is how we show the love of Christ in our everyday walk and how we interact with people.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 Sometimes that means more, just like that you say, those just simple little acts mean more to people, because it's like you're expressing your faith
Yeah.
walk,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
Galatians 5:22 and 23 talks about the fruits of the Spirit, and one of them is kindness.
Yes.
So anytime
Mm-hmm.
you express kindness to someone, and I think, even today when we're so angry and bitter, and just
Right.
if somebody does that, it's just like, wow, how refreshing was that?
So true.
Yeah, yeah,
So true. And it's kind of like, it's sad, but it's sad, but it's also a good thing. It's sad because when someone just holds the door open for you,
hmm
right? And you're like, oh, wow, that's so nice. Such a small gesture is a big gesture, but sometimes to be caught off guard like that,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's sad that we've lost so much hope in humanity,
right,
that the smallest things, you're like, wow, it knocks you off your feet sometimes, because
yeah,
people are just so in a rush and not caring about the person behind them. Or how many times have you walk through a door, it's like someone, I'm like, I know you saw me coming through the door, like you
yeah,
could have just held it open.
yeah,
It's just a matter of courtesy, you know what
yeah,
I'm saying? And I get it, we're in a rush sometimes and all that, but I think sometimes we are so engrossed in within ourselves that we forget to look at other people,
right,
you
right,
know.
right,
The person is, their arms are packed with groceries, and like, we're so focused on ourselves, you just go through the door, you don't even think about the person behind you, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, so
Yeah.
yeah, it's just those every day. And again, by just doing that, that changes the other person's day. I've had a lot of situations where, I'll be at the store and and people have come up to me and they're like, "Hey, do you need any help?" Because they see me struggling maybe to get
Right.
things in the trunk or whatever. And I just think it's cool because so many people are like, "Hey, that has nothing to do with me,"
Right. Right.
you know.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And it's interesting how you just said a second ago, courtesy,
hmm,
right? Remember when we used to say common courtesy?
common Kurt,
It
yeah,
was common.
yes,
You didn't have to think about it. It was just something you did
mm-hmm,
when you saw a need or somebody maybe who just needed a positive word. It was just
mm-hmm,
common. And I think that's one thing we need to get back to,
mm-hmm,
especially if that is a fruit of the spirit. That should be common. There should be kindness that we're
right,
showing to people. Yeah.
right, right.
Yeah.
I agree.
So, yeah.
I agree, and I think that like you think about throwing a pebble into a pond, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And the original source of the ripple, because it causes a ripple, right?
Hmm.
The original source of the ripple, you don't see it anymore, but it's still the ripples, you see them
Right.
going out, right? They're still happening.
Right.
And it affects on a wider and a wider and wider what is it I'm looking for?
Yeah. Just the
Area, or it just
yeah.
grows,
Right.
right?
Right. Right. The
And that's how
impact continues. Yeah.
yes. And that's how I think we have to look at, just being in a space where we're in tune enough with the Holy Spirit to, because it's the Holy Spirit that brings those things to us, right? That gets us,
Mhm.
changes the focus from us to
Right.
others, right?
Right. Yeah.
And if we just kind of slow down enough, um, it's important because it affects someone else. It
Hmm.
affects us too. It helps
Hmm.
us be in a certain place as well.
Right.
So yeah.
Right. Yeah. My sister's kids,
Uh-huh.
we've worked with them all growing up. But my sister is in there making a holiday dinner or a special dinner for something, and you're working all day. You know that because you
Mm-hmm.
prepare dinners for your family, and you're working
Mm-hmm.
all day.
Why'd you smile when you said that, Renee? I saw it. I saw it.
No, I was so impressed with your kindness to No, I know you host a lot of events and you're busy
Uh-huh.
all day, right? Right. And so we've always worked with the kids
Uh-huh.
to be helpful, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I think kindness has a first cousin, and I'll call it thoughtfulness,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
And so we always worked with the kids to be thoughtful of a
Right.
person who has put so much time and effort into something. So I watched as we were having my birthday dinner the other day. Uh, my sister had made a very nice dinner of my choosing and spent a good portion of the day. But when it was all over with, the kids get up without asking
Yes.
immediately and help
Yeah.
start cleaning the kitchen,
Right.
putting away leftovers, rinsing the dishes. And I
Right.
thought, that really is a gift of
It
thoughtfulness and
it
kindness,
really
right?
is. It really is.
And the thing that I like is that my nephew's kids now are seeing it,
Yes. Yeah.
right? And so
Yep.
uh, those kindnesses are going to ripple down to generations where
They
everybody
do.
knows, okay, somebody cooks, let's be kind, let's help them
Right.
with cleanup. So I
Right.
was just really proud of them
Yeah, that's
for their
great.
kindness and
Yeah.
thoughtfulness because it's in them now,
Right.
you know.
Right.
And if they go someplace and have dinner, they're always willing, okay, can I help? Can I help clean up? Can I clear the table?
It's so true.
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah.
true. And I like that you brought that aspect out of it because being a person that, like you said, I do host,
Yeah.
things here at the house or whatever. Um, And I know, growing up, my mom, that's how my mom and my grandmother, they taught us. We always, it was about being thoughtful. You're going to somebody's house, eat, you need to get up, help clean up. And so I, put things away,
Hmm.
contribute. And so that's how I grew up. And
Yeah.
that's how my children are. And I'm so thankful for that, because it's an act of kindness for the person that put in all the work. And
Yeah.
sometimes you don't see how much work that is,
Right.
because you the food is prepared, but there's a lot that goes into it, and it makes the person, because they did it as an act of kindness,
Right.
but it really does feel good when you're like, that you would even think that enough of me to want to help out.
Hmm. Right.
It
Right.
speaks volumes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
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 And so, yeah, and you're right. It's that rippled in your family.
Yeah.
Now
Yes.
your kids are doing it, and then their
Right.
kids will do it. And so,
Right. Right.
yeah, yeah, it's very important, those ripples, and we don't think about it,
It does. We
Yeah.
don't. And
Yeah.
like you said, and just by, seeing, even, talking about children, our nieces, our nephews, our young cousins, they learn by example.
Hmm.
And you're right, by being a person that um shows kindness, it'll trickle down. And
Hmm.
I think that, like, going back to what you said about common courtesies, I agree with you. I do think, because we
Hmm.
stopped the ripple in a lot of areas, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And
Yeah.
so it's up to us, as being the salt of the world, to be conscious about those things,
Right.
so that we can continue to teach, and continue to those things continue to go through the generations for humanity. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I do think that that's a lot of why we're in a lot of we get in such tumultuous, you know, situations,
Yeah. Yeah.
arguments, all of that.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
take a moment. Be
Yeah.
kind, because
Yeah.
you can even tell someone something that they may not necessarily want to hear. But if you're doing it from a heart of kindness, it hits different,
Right.
and
Right.
they receive it differently.
Right. Right.
So yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, another scripture that I saw was Matthew 5:16. It says, "Let your light shine before others." So basically, be kind and thoughtful, so
Right.
they may see and glorify your Father in heaven.
That's
So we
right.
don't realize what a testimony kindness is.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
it does it in especially in this world. I was thinking the other day, we hear a lot about the spirit of Antichrist.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
What is that?
Mm-hmm.
That's thoughts, behaviors, principles
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Mm-hmm.
against biblical teachings,
Right.
against Christ's teachings, right?
Right.
Against the Bible's teachings.
Mm-hmm.
So anything anti-God basically is what it is,
Right.
anti-Christ.
Mm-hmm.
So when we get in those situations where we're just angry at everybody, or we're just, well, let them do it
Mm-hmm.
themselves, like you say, walking past somebody who's struggling with kids in a cart,
Yeah.
and you go, well, that's on them. They shouldn't have brought their
Right.
kids to the
Right.
store, you know.
Right.
It's kind of like, well, maybe that was the only choice they had.
Right.
And if you walk that basket back, what did it take out of your day? And how did it
Right.
bless that person?
Yes.
Right?
I
And did
agree.
they see God in that action?
Right. That's
Right?
right.
Yeah.
You are so right. I agree 1000%.
Yeah. Well, you used to say 100%, so I'm going up and
Yeah.
going, yes. Yes. Oh gosh. Well, we had the
Oh,
same conversation. I'm sorry.
no,
Uh
no.
2 years ago.
Okay.
Episode 11 was
Uh-huh.
our Let There Be Kindness. So we gave a lot of examples in, and I might be repeating some of mine, but I think that would be an episode to go back to and just listen to some of the ways.
Yes.
Again, just, holding a door,
Yeah.
saying good morning to an older person.
Yep.
Do you know how invisible sometimes they are? you
Right.
know, and we just don't even have the time of day to say, "Hey, good
Right.
morning," or "You look so pretty in that dress," or,
Right. And
or,
that's so true. And as I'm aging,
mhm,
you you're more in tune to that, right? You
right.
notice that more because you're in that age group, right?
Yeah.
And the world keeps going, and sometimes, and I can see how um older how older people can feel that way, can
Mhm.
feel unseen because the way society is set up, it's like, oh, we're gonna stick you over here, or oh, you're over here, and again, go or passing someone, like just saying good morning. It's now I kind of battle with this. We know I always have a battle, right? So, like, to me, again, common courtesy. You're standing right next to someone. I automatically want to say good morning, right?
Mhm.
But then I would catch myself saying, well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe they don't want to be spoken to. But then I'm like, then I go start going down the rabbit hole. Then I'm like, well, that's rude. Like, you don't see me standing here. Yeah. But then, Marvina,
Yeah.
you didn't say good morning either.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So if you feel that way, maybe you should start it. Good morning. And
Yeah.
so now I have to consciously make myself do that. We're
Yeah.
both sitting, we're both at the sink, maybe washing our hands, go to the restroom. And this is where I notice it a lot because you're in close proximity to
Yeah.
people. And I'm like, so you're just not going to speak? Like, I might give a smile or whatever. But again, you don't know maybe where they're at in their head. They could be going through a lot of different things and it's nothing personal. But by me speaking first,
Yeah.
sometimes that will bring them out of that. Oh, you know what? I'm so sorry. Because sometimes I do that. I'm like, you know what? I am so sorry. I was not trying to ignore you. I was just so much in thought.
Right.
But
Right.
we have to be those starters sometimes. So
Yes.
I'm working on that
Yeah. Yeah.
because in my carnal mind, I'm like, you don't speak to me, I'm not going to speak to you. But that's not Christ-like.
Oh gosh. Yeah, and it might just be the same fear, right?
And it might be the same
They
fear.
may not speak to
Exactly
you
right.
because they think, well, what if they don't speak back? Or what
That's
if, yeah.
that's
So,
exactly right.
yeah, I think it just needs to be commonplace.
Commonplace.
Yeah.
One of the things that you mentioned in episode 11 was like, I think that you were giving examples, and one of them was even going back to our elderly neighbors is a dinner tray. And I keep going back to our elderly neighbors and our elderly friends because so many times they may not have family around because maybe they're a transplant from somewhere else, and while we're young, we're not thinking about as we get older,
Yeah.
how much family we're going to be around and all that. And so and again, I think that we forget that that's a demographic that we should really pay attention to.
Hmm.
There's a lot of wisdom there that can be learned.
Yes.
There's a lot of, you know, people that are older than us have been through life before we have. So there's just some ways that they can help us navigate. But I also think that, like you said, to help, they feel seen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's huge.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's huge. And that
Yeah.
is even, you mentioned that it makes me think about some things,
Hmm.
you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
My grandmother was, my dad's mom was in a convalescent home. She had had a stroke and I
Okay.
think she was like 88.
Okay.
And it was not, they couldn't afford a really nice one. So it was one of those that you just like
Okay.
hated to go in,
Yes,
right?
got it.
And so she was in a room with two other women.
Uh-huh.
And so there was one gal in the first bed you walk in, and very nice gal, very nice. Then the middle bed was this woman named Dorothy, and she just laid there all the time. She didn't talk to the nurse, nobody. And the
Okay.
nurses would tell you that we can't get her to even speak.
Mhm.
She just lays there, and she was so you could just tell on her face, it was like she'd given up hope, right?
Yeah.
And then in the third bed was my grandma. So
Okay.
I'd go visit every Wednesday. I'd go, and the first little lady would catch me and she'd want to talk a bit. So I would. And it's not like you have to talk to them for hours and hours. 3, 4 minutes, they're thrilled that somebody stopped
Right.
to talk, right?
Right.
And
Right.
then I would go talk to my grandma, where my grandma started saying, well, if you could bring me a snack or something next time. So I'd bring her a little something. But then I started thinking, here are these other two ladies. This one lady in the middle never has visitors.
Mm.
And I thought, well, what could I bring? Well, I don't want to do something like they're going to get them a soda or a milkshake and
Right.
they can't eat it. So
Right.
I started buying big boxes of Ritz crackers.
Okay.
And as I would come in the door, I would hand the first lady a roll of Ritz crackers. Oh, she was thrilled. And then Dorothy. Dorothy, do you like Ritz crackers? And she just looked up at me and kind of
Oh,
put her head down. And then I went to talk to my grandma. Well, pretty soon I hear this crunch, crunch, crunch. She's sitting up on the edge of her bed eating her crackers. She was going to go through the whole
oh,
sleeve. I didn't care. Before dinner, it's like, go for it,
right.
girl.
Yeah. Right.
But every time I would do this, and I would, it took a couple of times for Dorothy but she'd brighten up.
Yeah.
And then there'd be a time where I would get there and she'd be sitting up on the edge of her bed, just kind of like waiting for her crackers. I didn't have to,
Yeah.
she didn't converse with me.
Oh, yeah.
She just was happy, the smile on her face when she'd see
Yes.
me walk in with her crackers. And
Yeah.
you think about it, and it's like sometimes we think, like you say, we have to do the grand gesture.
Right.
But no, those little things,
That nobody else sees. Yeah.
right? And that spoke the love of the Lord to her,
Right. Yeah.
right? It
Yeah.
was, and so um, things like that, especially with the older people and with young kids. And I know I've said it
Yes.
before, but you know, uh, these young people that you see doing the right thing,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe they don't have a lot. Maybe their families are in a situation where there's just not a lot in the giving them a $10 bill and said, hey, you know
Mm-hmm.
what? Go get yourself something to eat or
Right.
go.
It
That can just mean,
can.
the world of difference to some kid. Like I get to go get a
Right.
hamburger, you
Mm-hmm.
know? I'll
Right.
probably give them a 20 because hamburgers are expensive now.
They
You
really
know,
are.
yeah. Yeah, $18 for a meal. But you know what I'm
Right. And that's
saying?
like McDonald's, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So yeah, just encouraging these young people that are doing the right thing,
Right.
doing their best,
Yep.
going to church,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Just those little things that just
Yes.
really the kindness ripples. And one story I know I've told before, I think I told it in episode 11, was my uncle,
Uh-huh.
Harold. He's gone now, but when we were kids, probably about 8 years old, we would go over to his apartment with him and his new wife.
Okay.
And he knew we didn't have a lot. My dad was in and out of work. We just didn't have a lot. He would go to his kitchen every time the three of us girls got there. He
Hmm.
would open up a can of olives, pour it in a bowl, and bring it to the table or to the where we were sitting. Excuse
Okay.
me. And he would say, these are all for you. And they weren't pitted either. So it was cool because you got the seat in the middle,
Oh,
and
got it.
but that taught me so much, to the point where now if I see a little kid on a lemonade stand out on a corner on a hot day, I'll
Yeah.
pull over. What are you saving for? He says, I did it just recently. He goes, well, I would like to get a BMX bike. So I said, well, how much is the lemonade? It's $1. So I handed the kid $10, and you'd have thought
Right.
that I had just made his day, but it's like,
Right.
here's a kid who
Trying
i-
to, yeah.
is
Yes.
trying to accomplish a goal, or
Hmm.
trying to, you know,
Hmm.
so uh,
It's so true.
it just means a lot,
It
that,
does.
and then hopefully he'll think of that at some point,
Right.
you know.
Right. That reminds me of a situation. So one of my granddaughters, she was, I think it was the end of last year. And she really, I was moved by it because she reached out to me and she said, "Hey, Gigi," that's what my grandkids call me, Gigi. So it's a whole story behind it, but that's another day.
Okay.
Story for another day. But so she reached out and she was going on a trip with her friends. I think they were going to maybe Santa Cruz or something
Mhm.
with her friends and her friend's family.
Mhm.
And so she said, "Hey, my mom, I want to go on this trip with my friends. My mom said she would give me the money, but I want to see if there's anything I can do around the house to help you, because I like to earn the money so my mom doesn't have to pay."
Mhm.
And that really moved me because you don't get a lot of young people that think that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of, and so the fact that she had so much compassion for
Mhm.
her mom, that
Mhm.
she knew, yeah, my mom could give it to me, but this will make things easier on her. I'm
Yeah.
imagining what she's thinking.
Right.
This will make it easier on her. So it wasn't like she was just thinking about herself. And that made me, and as a grandmother, I'm like, of course, that's going to make me go above and beyond because one, you want to help, your grandchild or your the young person, but the other part of it is you're like, you know what, I am so impressed
Yeah.
that you're willing to work for it.
Right.
I'm gonna give you a little bit extra like you did at the lemonade stand, right?
Yeah.
And that was a kind, she was just looking at being kind to her mom, but look
Yeah.
how that rippled,
Right.
you know.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's, and yeah, you rewarded her for that kindness. Not that they're going to be rewarded every time,
Correct.
but
Correct.
there are those moments where there is that little incentive and they go, "Oh, okay, I get it.
Correct.
I get
Right.
it. It's important." Whether
Right.
there's something that benefits me or it's just a feeling I get
Right.
where I know I made somebody's day better or helped somebody.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So it really does. It makes a difference. So
Yeah. 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 So I think we just need to remember just, let's make it more common in our lives.
yes,
And we need to teach our kids kindness,
yes, we
you
do.
know.
And embody that.
Yes.
Because I think as if we embody it, our children will embody it. Because again, you affect your circle of influence, right?
Right.
And so I that's really pretty much all I have. But I did want to end with not end, but my final thought is there's a quote that I read, and I was like, and it just kind of gave me the picture of the ripple.
Mhm.
Kindness is like tossing a stone into a still pond. The ripples go places you'll never track,
Mhm.
but they move everything they touch.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so,
Yeah.
with that, I'm really going to try to be more kind.
Yeah. 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 I hear what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah. And those, I like what that said, and the ripples. And sometimes, like you say, you see the ripples,
Yes.
but when they finally seem to kind of level out,
Yep.
the water is still moving,
The water is still moving.
still moving.
That's
So
right.
yeah.
That's
So
right.
we've just got to remember, the fruit of the spirit includes kindness.
Yes.
And if we want the world in this time to see the
Yes.
love of God, that is the best way.
It is the best way. And
Yeah.
people are looking.
Yes.
So if we do it, I think it will have even more of an impact now than what it did in the past because
Hmm.
people are looking for
Yeah.
hope.
Yeah.
People are looking for an answer. People are feeling trapped. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Yeah.
So yes, just think about. So I really like you said, Renee. It will really. It's very much needed, and it will very much touch a lot of lives
Yeah. Yeah.
and show the love of Christ.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, yeah, to our listeners, maybe go back and listen to episode 11 and just get some more ideas and thoughts of the way just kindness can be shown.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
So,
agree.
all right.
Well, you have anything else, Renee?
No, I'm going to be kind to you and we'll call this a wrap.
Well, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Well, until next time.
Until next time, you take care.
Okay, you too, Renee.
All right. We'll
All
see you.
right.
Bye.
Bye.